Look, I've been contacted by a number of specialists who have completed vaccine injury claims where they have said that their patients have been injured by the COVID-19 vaccine, and then the patients have lodged their vaccine injury claim with Services Australia, and Services Australia have denied that claim. And these specialists are very frustrated because they've gone to a lot of work to assess these injuries, only to have non-medical people in Services Australia deny those claims. Have you got anything to say to that?
Senator, I'll turn to Ms Vaccini, who's the Deputy CEO, runs that, but I would point out from the beginning that we're administering the scheme, but the policy settings for the scheme are set by the Department of Health and Aged Care.
I understand
and
that.
So the overall policy premise needs to be asked.
I understand that, and that's the issue, is that the people denying these claims or in Services Australia aren't medical. It's the administration side of it, not the health settings, because I have spoken to specialists and doctors who have been involved with the government on this particular compensation scheme, and they're the ones who've contacted me. And their gripe is with Services Australia and the administration of it, not the actual settings. So there's the issue of the settings and whether or not you're going to recognise an injury. These are recognised injuries that have been, determined by the specialist, and Services Australia have said we're not going to recognise the specialist's opinion.
I'll pass to Ms Vaccini and Mr Moon about how we administer this scheme.
Thank you. Kirsty Vaccini, Deputy CEO of Program Design. So yes, as mentioned, the Department of Health and Aged Care has the policy side, while we have the administrative side, and we do check that the claims put forward are aligned to the conditions and the vaccines that are put in that policy. We also have the ability to send to medical experts, so we don't necessarily make a decision not based on medical experts of these.
So if a medical expert, the patient or the injured person has got a medical expert, why are then you going to another medical expert?
It's a requirement of the policy to ensure that the claims being put forward are peer-reviewed, I suppose is a term that I would use.
So you're basically using your own experts, which I suggest you're paying. Are you paying them?
No, these are part of the Therapeutic Goods Administration. Through the
OK, so they're going back to experts in the TGA who are now overriding specialists who've actually assessed the patient firsthand.
I don't know if they're overriding so much as providing their medical opinion as to whether the conditions meet the policy, and if the conditions don't meet the policy.
How can they provide a comprehensive medical opinion if they haven't diagnosed the patient personally?
Because they do it on the evidence that's put forward in the claim.
And Senator, we're not making a medical opinion. We're administering the scheme.
I get that, but the whole fact that you're going off to so-called people paid by or employed by the TGA who have a vested interest in covering up the fact that they didn't, test this vaccine, or they don't want to admit that there's injuries, isn't that a conflict of interest?
I think
that's not a question for us.
Yes, I think you need to raise that with the Department of Health and Aged Care.
OK, I will do that.